Israel has launched airstrikes in Lebanon, it says, are aimed at crippling Hezbollah funding. It's targeting the al-Qard al-Hassan Association. That's a group that Israel, the U.S., and Saudi Arabia accuse of financing the Lebanese militant group. At least 10 blasts hit Beirut overnight, mostly in the capital's southern suburbs, an area largely controlled by Hezbollah. Airstrikes also hit not far from Beirut's airport. Lebanon's state-run media also reported attacks in the south and east of the country. Well, a senior U.S. official is reportedly due in Beirut today for talks with Lebanese counterparts to discuss conditions for a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. For that and more, let's talk to correspondent Karim El Gawhary. He's in Beirut. Karim, let's start, though, with those strikes in southern Beirut overnight. Tell us more about the group that Israel says it's targeting there.
Well, that's basically a bank that is run by Hezbollah. Israel is saying that they are targeting this. There's 31 branches of this bank all over the country, that they are targeting this bank and these branches because it's financing terror. But, I mean, you also need to understand that Hezbollah consists out of three parts. There's the military part, there's the political part, and there's the social welfare part. And what the Lebanese are saying that this bank is basically a bank that gives out microcredits to especially the Shia community in Lebanon. For example, when you get married or something like this. So that's more like a social service in the country. Israel, of course, is saying that's a place that's financing terror. But it's difficult to see how blowing up buildings of bank branches really would interrupt the financing of the military wing of Hezbollah.
Now, I understand that a senior U.S. official is in Beirut today. There are media reports about that, that this official is there to talk about ceasefire conditions, Karim, that Israel is demanding. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, we hear that there is two more conditions Israel is adding to the ceasefire conditions. The original ceasefire conditions was the UN Resolution 1701. Now, in addition to that, Israel is demanding, even after a ceasefire, to have the right to fly into a Lebanese airspace and even to continue, if necessary, military operations in the south of the country. That's two conditions that Hezbollah most likely cannot accept. And I think most of the people here in Lebanon think that ceasefire negotiations right now are not going really anywhere, because also there's a sense that Israel wants to continue its incursion into the country. They feel like they are right now weakening Hezbollah, and that's why many people are seeing that there's ceasefire negotiations will go nowhere, and that Israel is now adding these conditions of having the right to fly into Lebanon even after a ceasefire. That is totally unacceptable by the side of Hezbollah.
Okay, so we'll have to wait and see what happens on that front. But during all of this, Karim, Beirut's airport continues operating, even though airstrikes are happening right in that vicinity. How much longer can that airport stay in operation, Karim?
It's a bit of a miracle that the airport is continuing to function. I mean, two of the 12 airstrikes yesterday night were very, very, very close to the airport. Still, you have the national airlines, Middle East Airlines, who is still flying in and out of Beirut, becoming some kind of an heroic status within the people here in the country. There's even anthems written for Middle East Airlines now by known Lebanese singers. The operation probably will stop when Israel does something like it did 2006, and that is bombing basically the runway. That would be really the end of the operation of the Beirut airport. But until now, Israel refrained from really targeting basic Lebanese infrastructure. But that, of course, might change in the future.
Karim, thank you very much. That was journalist Karim El Gawhary in Beirut. Let's get more on this story now from journalist Balig Sladeen. He joins us from Tel Aviv. Balig, Israel has been striking the offices of al-Qard al-Hassan in Lebanon. Why does Israel say it's targeting this group?
Yes, first of all, the IDF spokesperson put out a statement officially saying that they have targeted commands and sites that belong to Hezbollah, and the number of dozens of these sites during the night, both in Beirut and the south of Lebanon, even also in deep inside Lebanon, so in the area of El as well, the valleys where it is also believed to be a Hezbollah stronghold. It is described in Israel that this al-Qard al-Hassan is Achilles' heel for Hezbollah because of the fact that they are the sole entity that Hezbollah uses in order to facilitate their finances after of course, the sanctions by the West, by the U.S. Has been implemented, and they're using this organization to pay for their operatives as well as, of course, storing these stockpiles of cash and, of course, keep the connection between this organization, between Hezbollah in general and the Shiite Muslims in Lebanon, excuse me, and keep this stance as the protector of Lebanon, as the representative of the Shiite in Lebanon, although that this organization also gives services to other groups in Lebanon in general. And it is believed in Israel that it operates as a state within a state, as some of the experts said in Israel, including, of course, using this banking system.
Now, there's also a senior U.S. official in Beirut today, I understand, there in Lebanon to talk about ceasefire conditions that Israel is demanding. What more can you tell us about that?
Yes, in the coming hours, Amos Hochstein, the U.S. envoy to Lebanon, the one that was trying or has been trying since the beginning of the war to reach a diplomatic solution, is now again back in Beirut talking to Najib Mikati, the prime minister, the current prime minister, and also to Nabih Berri, the head of the parliament that is close to Hezbollah, talking, of course, about the possible implementation of UN Resolution 1701. That means, of course, the prevention of Hezbollah from conducting any activities south of the Litani River, something that, of course, for 18 years hasn't been conducted or hasn't been implemented. And now we are hearing from Israeli sources that Israel wants this diplomatic solution, wants this 1701 UN resolution, but with some changes. Israel wants two major changes. The first one is to be able to actively enforce this UN resolution, which means that they are not confident anymore in the UNIFIL and the Lebanese forces to prevent Hezbollah from conducting activities south of the Litani River. And the other one is freedom for the Israeli airspace in Lebanese Air Force, in Lebanese airspace. Both of these demands are supposed to be very difficult to be accepted by the Lebanese, but I'm not sure whether they have a choice right now after what we're seeing in this current war.
Balig, thank you very much. That was journalist Balig Sladeen in Tel Aviv.
Thank you.